Welcome in everybody to the next episode of the Goldenrod Challengers League podcast. We have an exciting one because this weekend is pretty much the final weekly games before we kick off with the playoffs, and I think we pretty much have teams confirmed, locked in going into those playoffs. But this weekend's going to be interesting because people are going to want to compete, and I tell you what. Group B is incredibly close, right, Chaos?
So close. I mean, I think there's one team that's pretty much guaranteed their spot. Well, I say pretty much guaranteed. They've not guaranteed it at all. It's super close. But I think it's barring something catastrophic. I think Casa are heading through, but anything can happen in Unite.
That is true, mate. That is why we love this game called Pokemon Unite. Anything can happen, but I'm just fresh back from Turkey, chat, so I've been relaxed, I've been tanned, I've been trying to keep up on the Pokemon Unite action. Ridiculous that whilst I was away, Darkrai drops, and apparently it was just depressing, and then they instantly decided to break it, because why not? But I still haven't got it to play it yet because, yet again, it costs like 2,000 gems to do so because it's Pokemon Unite and, you've got to pay for shit, in their opinion. So, yeah, it's been an eventful week in Pokemon Unite, but it's been an even more eventful week in the Goldenrod Challengers League. The games at the weekend were a tough one. We saw some really interesting stuff, right? We saw, on the Sunday, Plush Keepers getting beat by Batista's guy 3-0 Chaos, right?
Can't lie, I was very happy about that one. Absolutely love Plush Keepers. I love the guys there, but it's a competitive league. I need these guys to lose.
That's it, isn't it? Right? We love the teams that are involved, but when you're playing in it, you're like, I need this team to lose. But I think Plush Keepers have had like 6 different iterations of their squad coming into these, just with the difficulty of them playing LFPU as well. So it's been interesting.
Yeah, massive shout outs to them for carrying on and finishing the league off, because obviously they're juggling it with LFPU. We've not had a solid roster throughout the entire tournament. I think it's been changes every single week, which obviously we've allowed because we appreciate them sticking around, and they've performed at a really high level as well.
Yeah, and this is it. This league itself has been a really high level, and you'll see how close Group B is when we bring up the standings next. But it's been just insane. It's been an absolute joy, and we'll definitely be doing this again because I can't believe how close we managed to get this league. But yeah, you managed to beat Mem 2-1 as well on the Sunday, right? Although I know you had some technical issues over on the side of Arcade Aces, right?
Yeah, so the first game went pretty much according to plan. We absolutely smashed them. The second game was going to plan, and then 3 of us disconnected at the same time. Unfortunately, I had the worst one. My internet just completely went. So my team had to play the entirety of the Ray fight, and after the Ray fight, with pretty much me AFK in our jungle, and we still managed to win. But then, we played the last game, and I was about as useful as a chocolate fire guard in that game.
I've seen the clip, mate. I've seen the clip of you just being stood still for like a solid 5 minutes as a Pikachu. So yeah, valid. A 2-1 win is still very, very solid. It's pushed you in a good position in the group that you're at, so that's exciting. I believe Team Int and Misfits didn't go ahead just due to some scheduling issues, and I think Misfits have got a lot going on personally, chat, so we're just going to let them do their thing and see where things end up. But Casa Flutter Oblivion Gaming, how was that one?
Oh, man. Well, Oblivion were late, so they took a game loss, which they couldn't really afford to do. They essentially needed a 3-0 to give themselves a huge chance of going through to the next step, because this was their last game. They took a game loss, and then they came into the first game. They won the first game, and it was such a close game. It was just, again, I think we've seen games between Oblivion and other teams where it's just been back and forth constantly, and constant brawling. It really could have gone either way. They ended up managing to take Rayquaza, and then in the second game, or the third game, Castleflutter, they took charge and wiped the floor with them a little bit.
I mean, that is one talking point we need to mention is just how strong Casa Flatter have been in this league. They came out of nowhere. They joined late just due to us losing a couple of teams, and they have smashed it coming out of the gate, buddy. They are one of the only teams that is managing to consistently score over 1,000 points in games. They are just dominant. So, yeah, that is definitely a team to watch.
Well, remember, they came in their first week with their first.
You good?
Oh no, my internet's playing up. It's like a weekend all over again. Yeah, the internet's gone. I don't know if you can still hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Right, where were we? So we're talking about Casa Flatter, right?
Yeah, I believe so, mate. We're on about how dominant they were from the get-go.
Oh, mate. So, yeah, the first week, if we remember, it was against Misfits and Oblivion back-to-back on the same day, which was absolutely crazy because obviously Misfits and Oblivion were pretty much the two best teams in the tournament back then. And they just came in and took both of them down with 2-1 wins. They had a little stutter against Team Int, losing 3-0 to them, but since then they've been perfect.
Yeah, 100%, mate, and they are definitely the team to watch for the EU region right now. I think they've come out of the gate. Obviously, they didn't manage to get into LFPU, but yeah, they're just consistently improving. So really strong by them. It was a fantastic week. Of course, huge thank you to Rosander and Bida Pig for casting for us. That was fantastic. And yeah, it's been an absolute joy. But we're going to be moving on to the final week of these weeklies before we go to the playoffs. But let's have a quick look at where we're at with the standings right now, as we've just mentioned. So we'll bring it up on the screen, and here we go. So, Group A, Batista's gang are quite comfortable up there with 11 points out of 5 games. But Arcade Aces is literally just 1 point behind with 10 there, Chaos. That's pretty decent.
We've qualified, man. We've done it. And I'm just going to bring everyone. I'm going to bring everyone's attention to. So on the website we have team previews for every single team, and it's got predictions of where we thought they'd finish. And despite every single week me basically saying, "No, we're going to lose," I got it spot on. I thought we'd finish second, and we did. Tanner, where do you think we were going to finish?
That's valid, mate. I think I put you like last.
You put us last.
Hey.
Laughing now, eh?
I mean, valid, mate. Valid. You guys have been very impressive, so fair play to you. Here we go. These are the standings as Chaos was ranting about there. They've managed to get themselves in. Batista's gang and Arcade Aces locking in for Group A. Fantastic. That is going to be really interesting coming into these finals, buddy. But look at Group B, chat. Look how close this is. It's that close. We've had to go down to goal difference, which is why we always said you have to score points in this game, in this league, because it's all going to come down to that. That is what has happened with Group B. Casa Flatter smashing the lead because they've been getting 1,000 points dunked frequently in their games. So I don't know how that's going to shape up, mate. That's a crazy group.
Thank you so much, Group B, for making me sit here for a fucking hour going through the goal difference and adding it all back up and stuff. But no, it's been absolutely worth it because that group is incredible. I think my camera's coming back.
Okay, we're getting there. But yeah, incredible. A Group B, you have put on a fantastic show. Casa Flatter, I mean, is there anyone currently in here that are fully through right now? I mean, obviously they're going to be playing tomorrow. What we got? We got 6 played, 5 played, 5 played, but the points are so close.
I think Casa Flatter are pretty much.
I mean, if they
I think Casa Flatter, they would need to lose not just lose 1,000-0 each game, because then Oblivion would need a few more points to overtake them. I think Casa Flatter are pretty much through.
Yeah,
it's just whether if they can 3-0 Team Int to the point where their points go below Oblivion's. That's how close it is between those. Basically, Team need 1 point.
Yeah. I think Casa Flatter are guaranteed, which is exciting because that is going to be Casa Flatter versus the runner-up of Group A. Who's the runner-up of Group A right now? I believe it's Arcade Aces, right?
Oh. Yeah, I don't really fancy that one, to be honest. Maybe we need to beat Flush Keepers this weekend and hope for a mem miracle.
Yeah.
To get us away from Casa Flatter.
Yeah, to be fair, mem need to lock in. I don't know, mate.
I mean, there's no easy game.
No, no, there isn't. And either way, it's an achievement that you managed to get the top 4 in this league. So that's pretty awesome. I can't see. I mean, who do you think is going to win it from that top 4 that we have locked in right now? Because for me, I can't see anyone beating Casaflutter.
Nah, Arcade Aces, let's go, guys. Let's go.
There we go. He's at the top 4. He believes in his team. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, you what?
I said, I believe in my guys. I've got to.
Yeah, no, you're right, mate. You're right. Guys in chat, I mean, let us know. Who do you think is going to win this league? We have some amazing trophies that we're currently going to get. I mean, I'm waiting until we know who the winner is before we buy the trophies because they're going to be engraved with their names. But whoever's going to be winning it, who do you reckon? Because I feel like I don't know how you can contest Casaflutter.
Yeah, to give a little shout out as well. Like Ashes obviously put that Misfits have dropped out, so they're bottom of their group, but that is very much a false position. They were running away with it at the start. It's such a shame if personal life gets in the way and they had to drop out, but they were on absolute fire. And I think they were able to continue, because basically with 3 games there, they've not been able to play. They've just taken 3-0 defeats in all 3 of them.
Yeah.
which is huge considering how many points they have on the board. So yeah, I think if they'd carried on, they'd have probably been able to win that group quite comfortably. Yeah, it's just a shame.
I'm with you 100%. Misfits have been playing fantastic in this league, and it is a shame they have unfortunately not been able to stick together. They've got a lot of personal issues going on, chat, so it is what it is. I wish them all the best because they have been a fantastic team to have in this league. So it's definitely not a true reflection of that team, them being there at the bottom, because they were really dominating Group B. It was really going to be a toss-up between, I say a toss-up between all of them, to be honest. It's such a hotly contested group over there in Group B, but yeah, and of course Oblivion Gaming does mean that you don't have that many chances of catching back up on the goal difference because Casaflutter have just ran away with it, but I don't know, it's one of those, buddy.
Quite a lot though, mate, because Bautista's the only teams have taken points off them in this league are ourselves, and obviously only one of them was in an actual set. They had to forfeit their second set against us.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the only teams that have taken points off Bautista's game, they've been on absolute fire as well.
Yeah. I mean, let's see how the final turns out, because Bautista's game versus Casaflutter would be incredibly good. But then again, I feel like you can defeat Goliath, but let's see. We'll have to find out. We'll have the games this weekend, chat, and then we'll get the finals underway on an agreed date, and we'll go from there. But yeah, Casaflutter really are the giants at the moment. Batista's gang and Arcade Aces in close second. It's been incredible so far. There is another matchup this weekend, buddy, and I don't know if you're going to be excited with who it is. It's going to be the mighty ones, but what we'll do is we'll head on over to a quick tier list that we're going to do. And then we'll do a review of next week's games. Anyone know how much Casaflutter needs to smash in with us to get top 2? I don't know. Do you know that one, Chaos?
Yeah, go back to the league and we can work it out. Because that would be the case. Casaflutter would need to absolutely smash into it would need to be like a 700 point swing, so
yeah,
it's kind of doable by like 200 250 300
okay
each game. It's possible. It's more possible Casaflutter knock team ins out than the other way around.
100%, mate. So if Casaflutter 3-0 team in and score how many points per game, and then obviously Oblivion Gaming needs to.
Isn't it? Let's do some quick math here. So 765 minus 193. They'd need to do it by a 573 point swing, which is very, very much doable considering they're scoring 1,000 points in quite a few games.
Yeah, there's a possibility, Ashi. There's a possibility, and a very realistic possibility. I mean, Team Int are a fantastic team, but Casaflutter have really been running away with it. So, yeah, You never know, buddy. You might end up there in that second spot, and then you'll be taking on Batista's gang to see who you can get through to the finals. Okay.
It's though, isn't it? Because they just need 1 point
Yeah.
across 3 games. It's going to be so tight. It's a shame that's the Saturday game, actually, because it would be really good to end the group stages on that game instead of our group where pretty much everything's done and dusted.
Yeah, it's going to be very intense, mate. This is it, though. You can literally put a bet on it because Castlefooter need to 3-0 team in, and then if they do, they need to be scoring the 500 points plus to do it and bring Oblivion Gaming into second place. That is absolutely doable, but teaming are not going to take that sitting down knowing that they need to get 1 point, right? Like, I don't know. It's going to be good, mate. I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it. So, yeah, it's going to be hype. We'll have a look at the next games next week after we've done this tier list. We're going to do a quick Speedster tier list, which I think is really interesting considering the fact that we've just had a new Speedster added to the game, which I haven't played, but I have seen how broken it is. But we'll come across that very shortly, Chaos. So, you can see the screen, right?
I can see the screen. Let's go.
Can you see the Monzo?
So obviously you're the speed main and the support main. So you're probably going to be the one taking the lead on this.
Yeah, and I've got to try and be objective, okay? And the difficulty is that with some of these speedsters, there is definitely a moveset that's better than the other. Gengar being the first one that I'm looking at right now is one of those where obviously Hex at the moment is very, very strong. It can still struggle a lot with the amount of CC in there, especially with how strong these all-rounders and defenders are. And Dream Eater is probably not as strong in the meta at the moment. I honestly feel like for a speedster, Gengar, I mean, if you're playing Hex and the matchup for you is really good, it's S tier. But outside of that, I feel like B tier, A tier maybe. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I played on beats it. I think the thing with these speeds, especially in the current meta, it's all about CC and how well they can kite in and out of CC. Gengar, once it's in, it's kind of in. And obviously when it's playing Dream Eater and Shadow Ball, it can chain knockouts really nicely, but it's just how often is that really going to happen in high level play?
Yeah.
I'd probably start it in B and see where it goes from there. But yeah, one bit of CC on Gengar and it's gone.
Yeah, I completely agree, mate. So, Talonflame. Now, this is probably my favourite mon to play in the entire game. It is just ridiculous fun to play. But it has a lot to it. Like, you can do the score build where you're just constantly scoring. Being a nuisance, very similar to Sableye. It does a lot of damage. Flies fantastic, secure. The get in and get out of Talonflame is really good. I feel like it's one of the strongest speedsters from that sense. It's definitely not S tier. Absolutely not. And the Unite move can be a bit ass, to be honest, which brings it down quite a bit for me. I don't know. It might be another B tier for me, but I feel like the secure on it is probably one of the better ones.
Yeah, I mean, Talon is one of the 2 speedsters that I can actually play. It's a lot of fun, and like you said, the secure from Fly is huge, but not just the secure from Fly, but the Unite move. And it's not that good, but that shove when you're trying to push a pad or put Lecky in is huge, and it's not even difficult to get off. Like it's quicker than like a horn leech from a tree. I'll put Talon here. I think it's solid. I just don't think it's insane.
What, A tier?
No, B.
B tier, okay. I think the only thing with the Unite move, though, is it's so easy to miss it, mate. You hit one single piece of, like, wall or whatever on the map, and you're screwed. Do you know what I mean? But if you utilise it well... Yeah. We are counting Cypher, but we're not counting Mimikyu Play Rough. I really wanted to put Cerulege in there, but, you know, Chaos told me not to, so... Yeah. But we've definitely got Cypher in there because it is just a speedster. Zera Aura. Now, we've seen a lot of Zera Aura play recently, and I've got to say the pros play it fantastically well. They make it look broken, but I don't know. I feel like it could be tougher. Obviously, the fact that they've changed its leveling makes it a lot better, and I do think that both Discharge and Wild Charge work quite well in this meta. I found it worked with Comfy quite well. I feel like from what I've seen in tournament play, I would put it A tier.
I think we need to actually add a B plus tier for this tier list, because we can't have. I'm looking at the mons at an X, and I don't want to put Zeraora in A. And then if I put Zeraora in A, I don't want to be putting other things in S. But I also don't want to be putting it on the same level as Gengar, because it is super, super strong, but it's not as strong as some of these speedsters that are still to come, but it's a lot stronger than like Gengar and Talon.
Okay, I think we probably put it at the bottom of A tier then. We'll do it that way, mate.
Bottom of A tier.
Yeah, bottom of A tier. There's definitely mons that are a lot stronger than it in regards to like how it's playing at the moment, but yeah, I agree with that.
The whole ceiling of Zeraora is huge. Like, you see a lot of people just play the standard, like, what is it, Wild Charge, because it makes you go invincible. There's players that play Volt Switch and Discharge and do that little drag with the discharge damage, which makes it absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Buster is adamant that Absol's D tier. Buster, I don't agree with you, buddy. I absolutely can't agree with you. I think Absol, especially in the hands of a good player, is broken. I think it is on the level of an EX mon.
I get the feeling there's sarcasm here from Buster, because Absol is one of his one trick.
Oh, okay, I see. Absol is awesome. Pursue is fantastic. I mean, you can one-shot Pokemon with that move, but even Night Slash is pretty decent. I think all in all, Absol is a very good speedster. And the Unite move is fantastic for spreading across that damage, team fights, securing as well. It actually works quite well for. I don't know whether I'd put it in S tier though. I think probably very high A.
You're gonna hate me. I'm gonna put it in C tier.
No, I don't agree with C tier.
I don't think it's as good. I don't think it's as versatile as those two. Like, look at, so you've got Zeraora that's got that really nice tech with Discharge, being able to drag opponents around and kite in and out really easily. You've got Gengar being able to do the same. Talonflame's got huge secure, huge burst damage. But Absol just kind of goes in. It can do things, but its ult's kind of lackluster as well. It's very easy to miss. I don't know. I don't think Absol's in a good place.
I think Pursue is fantastic, mate. The resets that you get with it is brilliant. And I mean, have you seen people playing it? Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not good on Pursuit, mate. It's as simple as that. It's very much, to use a Pursuit Absol well is very much using a Zoroark well. Do you know what I mean? Like,
do we see tournament play a lot?
Hmm?
Do we see it in tournament play though a lot? I feel like we see Talon and even Gengar a little bit more than Absol.
I've seen it in tournaments more than Gengar. I've seen it. I would say the only speedsters that we actually see in tournaments is Zoroark, Dodrio, and Leafeon. Maybe some Zeraora. And that's it. I mean, I tell you what, I will concede. I'll concede to a B tier. I'll concede to a B tier, mate. Just because Pursuit is broken. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen like Charlie playing Absol, but he literally makes it an EX mon, and that's how good that mon can be. So we'll go with B tier. I'll concede.
Yeah, but you could say that about anyone. You could say that about like what's his name? The guy that we always play with in ladder and stuff. Net or something, isn't it? Who plays Gengar? Like, he makes Gengar look like an EX mon.
I don't know. But Pursuit one-shots mons, mate. Like, it literally one-shots mons, and it gets resets. That alone justifies it being at least next to Gengar for that very reason. You know what I mean?
No. One-shots mons as well. We're not putting that in S tier. Come on, calm down.
I'm not putting it in S tier. I was putting it in A tier. All right. We're moving on. Darkrai. Now, I haven't played it, but I know after the buff, it's ridiculously good. So, do we just put it in S tier?
We make a new tier. It's S tier. You have to put it in its own tier. It's right at the top and off the charts. It is so fucking.
Bro, I don't even know how to add it here. How do you add it here? Let's try it. I agree with you because of like Darkrai being a new release and they absolutely broke it. Add a row above. There we go.
Right.
I feel like it definitely needs its own tier.
Like, I do feel that they released it really undertuned, but then to compensate, they've kind of gone completely the opposite direction, probably because people weren't spending the gems on trying to unlock it early because it was so lackluster. So then we broke it, so people are buying it, and that's literally probably all it is. The next patch, we'll probably see it get gutted. But it's kind of on the level of like the classic EX Pokemon that we used to have, and obviously Darkrai would have been an EX if they were still doing that. So yeah, I mean it's not broken enough as where to the point terrible players will win every single game on it. Like you'll catch out terrible players, but it's still absolutely broken. Anyone with half a brain cell is winning 70% of their games with it.
Okay, I think that's valid then, mate. We'll put it in its own tier because it has just had a buff that breaks it, and it'll be nerfed before long. Leafeon. I think Leafeon's quite interesting because it really does depend on how your early game goes. But if it goes well, you really can snowball a game on Leafeon. If it doesn't, you ain't doing much.
I absolutely love Leafeon. It's someone that I look to try and get in our drafts as much as possible. It's basically the answer to if you've got a slow top lane, you just play Leafeon jungle and up and gank early.
Yeah.
And that slow top lane starts to snowball with Leafeon. It can invade as well. Like the nerf to jungle and experience didn't really stop it from being able to get level 4 and invade. Yeah, it's so strong, and it's all because has such a low cooldown as well.
I agree.
It's really powerful. I played it yesterday. I think it's probably the strongest left.
Yeah, I 100% agree, mate. 100% agree with that. And I genuinely love playing Leafeon. It's a lot of fun. But both builds are still quite good on it. Fantastic secure on the Solar Blade as well. So, yeah, really happy with that. Dodrio is interesting. Nobody uses Drill Peck anymore. Everybody uses Tri Attack. It is very much a go in, do damage, go out kind of speedster in that way that Zero Aura is as well. I don't know really where to put it because I don't play much Dodrio. I've played against it and I fucking hate playing against it with a burning passion, but I don't know. I feel like people still do quite well on this one.
Good Dodrio players are a nightmare, and it's kind of like it's like what KP's said there. Some people make it look S tier. I wouldn't play as high as A tier, but because Drill Peck's kind of been. I still think Drill Peck is the stronger kit than Tri Attack, but obviously they gutted it, so people are having to play Tri Attack now. I don't know. I really don't like Dodrio the place that it's in at the moment, but I don't really play much of Tri Attack. Because if it was up to me, I'd be playing it like low B and in the C tier. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with Dodrio is it's at least a good early, like it's just one Evo, right? Which kind of fills a similar role as Leafeon. It doesn't do anything nearly as good as Leafeon, but it is still good early pressure. Whereas with Gengar, Talonflame, you need to get those Evos early and quick. At least Talonflame's got a lot of damage to begin with on its weaker Mons. I don't know. It is a tough one, mate.
I'm looking at this tier list and I'm thinking, would I get Dodrio of anything that's on the board right now? And I don't think I would.
Well, I see. I kind of agree with KP. I kind of agree with KP here again that like Dodrio does a lot on the map, a lot of rotations, a lot of scoring. It can kite a lot, can Dodrio. Which
it's so situational. Like it's back to the whole Sableye conversation where if you've got a good Sableye on your team, and if you don't have a good Sableye, you don't really care about it. You just play other mons that are just as good. Obviously, it fits like specific comps, like Skull comp really nicely.
Yeah,
it can flank pretty well, but no, I'm not sold on Dodger at the moment.
All right, what I'm going to do?
I'm seeing a lot of solid stacks playing it in ladder at the moment.
Yeah.
So there must be something there that we're just missing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm going to put it in this B tier, and I do want to put it above Gengar and Talonflame just because of how easy it gives the early game, and you can really do a lot more with it. So We'll agree with that one, mate. I feel like it does edge more into the A tier, but neither of us play much Dodrio, so it's probably not a ground that we can stand on that much. Yeah, now Cypher.
Okay, I'd be putting Dodger up in A tier, no problem. But yeah,
Yeah, that's valid, mate. So Cypher. Now, another mon that I have a lot of fun playing. I freaking love playing Cypher. I always will. I think it's actually pretty decent in the meta that we're in. I think, obviously, it is going to be a situational mon where if you're coming up against all the all-rounders and all the defenders, you're probably not going to pick it, but you're probably not going to pick that many speedsters going into that anyway. But if you are in a situation where you want to pick a speedster, so say, for example, that you want to dive on that backline with the range, could it get any better than Cypher?
I think so. No, I like Cypher as well, and I think we've seen in our league as well. I can't remember if it's Team In. I think it might be Team In that have been drafting Cypher and just doing crazy bits on it. It might have even been Bautista's gang. It was one of the two Spanish teams, but they rely on Cypher a lot and they make it look incredible. I wouldn't play it with, yeah, I wouldn't play it with Leafy on. I don't think, but I definitely put it with Zerora up in my A2.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. I mean, for a team fight, just picking off the squishies is so easy to do as a Cypher, but also your Unite move, the Green Illusion dive, works so well when you engage into a team fight. I think Cypher is one of the better at the moment, especially because you can play around it in the team. Like, a lot of 5 stacks know how to handle some of these speedsters. Like, a Gengar does have a difficult job in a coordinated 5 stack. It's a bit easier for a Cypher. So I'm kind of with you. I feel like that A tier with that Zeraora is a pretty good position to put it in.
I think the thing to stress this as well is we're looking at these mons just specifically in their class and how they rank in their class, not like up against everything as a whole, because obviously speedsters,
Yeah,
I look down my list and pretty much all of those get destroyed by Volt Tackle Pikachu, so you can't really draft too many of them safely.
yeah.
But yeah, just looking at them sort of isolated as mons, yeah, I think Cypher's up there with Zero.
I mean, Volt Tackle Pikachu is a speedster's nightmare, right? That's why that mon is in the game. So, 100%, mate. Now, luckily Robo's not here, because if Robo was here, he would throw that Masquerada into the S tier straight away. And I do feel like it's strong. Night Slash works so well. I know a lot of people use the Flower Trick and Double Team, especially pros, and that Unite move is very strong. I feel like Masquerada is in that A tier. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends on the player. Like we were playing with Zenti last night, who played some Masquerada games, and she's playing double team, and it was a lot of fun playing with that, and she's cleaning up quite nicely. But at the same time, you could just draft Leafeon in that slot, and it does more. You could draft Cypher in that slot, it does more. It's got a really nice ult, but it relies on the redirection from a jet button because it's so easy to walk out of. Like, I don't think it's got as strong as ult as Leafeon, Zera, or Cypher. I don't think I'd be in Meowscarada over Absol, to be honest. If I was going to be drafted.
I would. I think the Unite move is easy to walk out of, but it does a massive amount of damage while you're in it. And I think
It does, but so does Absol. Like you were saying, Absol literally shots mons, and Meowscarada is nowhere near that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Masquerada is very. It's a weaker Leafeon, in my opinion. Is what Masquerada is, which is why it's definitely not up there with the Leafeon, but it does very similar to what the Leafeon does, and it's weaker than it. I don't know what we're thinking in chat.
My honest opinion of Meowscarada would be I'd slot it comfortably into that C tier because I really don't like it.
It's definitely not C tier, mate.
It's probably the last choice speedster that I'd look to draft in a comp. But I will bow to your superior speedster knowledge.
I mean, you need to get someone in the team playing it, mate. Masquerada is slept on at the moment. I'm going to put it behind Cypher, just with what you said about you know what you use the Cypher for and the Zeraora for. I do think it belongs there. Now, this mon is the bane of my life, chat. I cannot express enough how much I hate this mon. Zoroark is just... Why has it been so strong for so long? It doesn't make any sense to me. This Mon needs to be yeeted out of this game. Zorak is one of those, though, where, like, obviously in solo queue you can get some really terrible players on it. It's got that Cinderace syndrome, right? Some of them are very terrible on it, but if you're remotely good on Zorak, boy, can you do some ridiculous shit.
I just go off topic and look at the chat a second. So basically, if I want my team to play something, do I just have to shit on them in these tier lists and then be like, I'm going to play it to prove Chaos wrong?
It looks like it,
put that leaf, put it right down there and they can all pick it up.
It looks like it.
Zoro's in such a weird. Well, it's not a weird spot at all. It's in my S tier, but in terms of its impact in games, it's in a position where it relies so much on getting ahead early.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot of obviously jungle mons do, but I think Zoroark more than the others because it needs that level 5 to evolve. If you don't evolve as Zoroark and you're ganking lane as Zoroark, you're getting nothing done. I mean, you're behind for the rest of the game. Like we've seen teams that play Zera basically double like guard in the invade just in case, because if you get invaded as Zoroark, it's kind of over for you as a game, so you need that early game. But if you get online early, it's curtains. Like nothing can really stand up to the early gank from a Zoroark.
Yeah. I think I'm with you, mate. I think when I think of S tier speedsters, I think of Leafeon and I think of Zoroark. That they are the two speedsters that I think of. And to be honest, the fact that we don't have any in the CD tier just highlights actually how strong speedsters are in this game right now. Like, you know, it does come down to the fact that it depends what you're coming up against. But
right, let's move Gengar down to C.
Nah, it's right, mate. I can't remember who were we playing with the other day that was like speedsters are just ridiculously good in this game, and they genuinely are. They are at least in a position where they can be game changers. So yeah, I'm quite comfortable with that, mate. To be honest, and it makes me really want to go play some Cypher.
Everyone thinks to be a tier below. I think it's the weakest speedster there.
Yeah, well, this is it, right? So outside of Hex, I completely agree with you. I genuinely do think Gengar is... I mean, I love Gengar, you know I do, but I genuinely think Gengar is lower, but Hex is just so freaking broken.
The only reason why I would leave it in that B tier, I'm going to tag you in something in Discord if you want to just play it for the stream. Just play this for the stream. This is why I would put Gengar... I'd leave him B tier because it does have some usage.
Okay, let me chat. Let me see if you can see this. There we go. We're loading up the.
It's part of the 3-second class. It's got one of the quickest shots in the game.
It does. That was very loud. It does, but you've got Zacian there, mate. Like, I don't know. I feel
that it's massive, but yeah, I'd leave Gengar where it is. I like its rip.
Yeah, I mean, it does have good rip. Well, Hex has good rip. Do you know what I mean? Yet again, it comes back to the fact that it's all to do with Hex around Gengar. It's not outside of that. It's definitely weaker. They had 5 fluffy tails. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying about the whole Dodrio shouldn't be in the same as Gengar, but I don't know, mate. We're leaving it there, so we can get some hate messages on YouTube. We're baiting them.
Prove it wrong. Prove us wrong. Send us your clips.
Yes. Yeah, send us your clips, bro. Prove us wrong. Send us your clips, and we'll play them.
You know what? If Dodger is so fucking good, right? You get on Unite, you get some clips of you popping off with Dodger, and we'll play him. I guarantee one of you can do it.
Zoinks is in the chat as well. Dodger below Meow is the wildfire. Mate, you missed the combo. I tell you, Meow slept on Zoinks. Meow is slept on. It's a weaker Leafeon, but it's defo slept on. I mean...
There's some Gerardo being in A tier, we just can't let this stand, man. I think we need to rejig it. We need to move that Gengar out of the B tier. It needs to go down to D, probably off the map. You need to cover up your tattoo.
Nah, we've. I mean, the fact that Hex is broken just justifies it being on that tier at least, mate. You know, you take Hex away, then that thing can be yeeted out of the game. It's not any good. But yeah, I mean, Dodrio is. I hate that one. I don't know if I'm being a bit too biased about it. I don't know.
I mean, you're the Speedster expert. If you want to move it, you move it. I'm just not a fan. I challenge everyone to send us some clips of Dodrio popping off. Their own Dodrio as well, not some pro players. Oh, look what Gatlu did on Dodrio.
I agree. I don't know. I really do want to move it, but I feel like also, nah. I mean, if I'm thinking of like what I'm coming up against, Dodrio should be in D, but as what the people have been doing in these leagues and in these tournaments, yeah, it's pretty good. Buster, send us your Dodo gameplay. Let's go. Send us it. We'll play it and we'll comment. We'll revisit the list. This has been the most contested, talked about tier list that we've ever done. So you know, send us your clips and maybe we'll revisit it and do some revision.
We let Tano take charge of this knowledge, and it all just goes to shit. Everything's contested, so
yeah, it's all good. Well, that Speedster's for you though, isn't it? Like, you know, some people, as we said, if it comes down to like certain mons, I feel like Speedsters are very much the ones where like certain players can really break them and others don't. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of that area where you can do that with them. So I know I'm gonna leave it where it is.
That's all it is.
Just, you know, shoot me. I'm going to leave it where it is. It is what it is. I'll just get the hate on the YouTube. Zoink's coming in like, nah, bro. All right, let's move on because we've been on this a little while. We're going to go have a look at how the games are this weekend that are going to be played. Let me... Oh, wait, it's over on there. What we got? Round 5. So... Yeah, Misfits versus Casa Flitter is obviously not going to go ahead. Casa Flitter don't have to have 2 sets back to back, which we know can be quite tough. They're going to be going up against Team Int. We've already had the conversations with Oblivion Gaming on what that could mean for them if Casa Flitter managed to 3-0 Team Int and 3-0 them quite comfortably. They've been scoring 1,000 points per game. If that happens and Team Int can't get a point, we will see Oblivion Gaming getting involved in the finals. So that's going to be an interesting one, mate.
We need to expand on that a little bit because the mind games for Team Int, they're going to see the league table, right? They're going to see all they need to do is avoid getting smashed by Casa Flitter. How defensively are they going to play? They're just not going to leave their pads, are they?
Valid, mate, valid. I mean, here we go again. I brought it back up. You can see Group B. Look how close it is. All on 9 points. Casa Flitter, though, with 3,000 points scored. Goal difference. That means they're going to be through, pretty much, because no one's going to be able to catch up on that. But, yeah, Team Int, they just need to get 1 point, and they're through. Oblivion Gaming are hoping for a 3-0. So, well, this is it. You're going to play defensive, but if you win, if you play aggressive and you get 1 win out of the 3, mate, you're through.
No, it's going to be super interesting to watch. Like I said, it's a shame that that's the game that's happening on the Saturday, not closing the league out. Because yeah, it's going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, I wish we could flex it because I really want to cast it, but I'm going to be casting, I think it's either Battle Hub or it's Unity Europe Cup on the Saturday. So I'm not going to be able to actually cast that game, so I'm a bit gutted about that because it is going to be an amazing game. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, mate. But these are going to be the games. So predictions. I honestly think that Casa Flitter are probably going to go 2-1. I think Team Int are going to end up getting a point against Casa Flitter. They're a fantastic team. They play well. They play aggressive. So I genuinely do think that's how it's going to go. Arcade Aces Plush Keepers. I think Arcade are probably, if not 2-1, 3-0 in that. I'm going to say 2-1 because Plush Keepers, whilst they've struggled with their roster, they have been amazing. And they're just a team that you can't ever count out, mate. So I think that's going to be 2-1 to you because Arcade Aces genuinely have been playing really well. So I feel like I need to... We're going into the final week before we go into the finals. I feel like I need to accept that Arcade Aces are playing better than what I originally thought. Batista's gang, Mem Ragnarok. I suspect Mem might not show because I think they've struggled in the past couple of weeks. And I think they've struggled with having people in the team. We've had some people from Mem Ragnarok being unwell. So I actually suspect that game's not going to go ahead. But if it does, I think Batista's gang are going to get a comfortable 3-0 with how they've been dominating this league right now, mate.
Yeah, I mean, my perspective as well. So Casper versus Team Int. I really can see Casper Turgis stomping Team Int here and giving Oblivion away into the next round. I actually think it is going to be a 3-0 to Casper Turgis. It's going to be so close on the scoreboards because Casper Turgis, they're that team that they're more than capable of scoring 1,000 points like each game. And being on multiple occasions. But then there's also been those games where they just have little brain farts and little errors that creep in, sort of give games away to their opponents. So 2-1's probably more likely. I'm just going to go for a 3-0. I want to see some drama on the last day.
Okay, that's valid.
I'll get the flush keepers. I mean, we're free, so it doesn't really matter what happens, right? We're just going to be playing score comp for 3 games and having a laugh.
Apparently Buster's going to be playing Dodrio from what KP's saying.
Oh, buzzing, yeah. Yeah, we can do that. We'll play some score comp. We'll have a good time. I don't know. I think we lost 2-1 to Plush Keepers the first time, but it was I think we were super unlucky. And I hate sort of blaming luck in Unite, but it literally was just a coin flip at Ray. We were super comfortable throughout the entire game. Maybe we let them into the Ray pit a bit too easily. That's why it ended up being a coin flip. Now I reckon we can win that. I think it'll be 2-1, like you said. And then Batista's gang and Ragnarok. If it goes ahead, Batista's gang will sweep through that.
So
actually, no. No. It's gonna be. So we're gonna win 3-0, and I'll put us on 13 points. And Batista's going to get 3-0, so we're going to win the group. That's my prediction.
Imagine, mate. That's what you want, because if you stay in the position you're at, buddy, you're going up against Casa Flatter, and nobody wants to take that team on right now. They are playing out of their minds. They are definitely a team in the EU that is going to be really good coming into this UCS season. So, yeah, I mean, that's it, chat. It's going to be an exciting weekend. I'm going to be casting on the Sunday. I'll be just back from playing football, so I'm going to be knackered. But we're going to crack on with some amazing games. I'm excited for that. You'll see Chaos casting on the Saturday. I'm not sure if we've got the co-casters sorted just yet. Either way, it's going to be an exciting one, so you will not want to miss it, especially that Saturday game, because that is going to decide who actually manages to get it into the top 4. Then we will plan a date for the playoffs. It'll obviously be the leader of Group A going up against the second place of Group B, and then the leader of Group B going up against second place of Group A. And then they will just play that through until we get to the final. Whoever wins the final will be the ones that win the trophies. And we will finally conclude the Goldenrod Press Challengers League. It's going to be exciting, mate. I'm hyped for it.
Oh, it's been such a blast just running this league as well. Obviously, we had to change the format up midway through because UCS got announced at the start of November. So we wanted to get this out of the way and done and dusted before UCS. But I think we kind of stumbled across quite a nice format in the end, splitting it into 2 groups and this playoff. But yeah, it's been an absolute blast. All the teams have been incredible. Like the levels has been much higher than we anticipated when we first came up with the idea of putting a league together, but then how close the league ended up being. Obviously, we had intergovernmentalizations join it at the start with Sacred Supres. We thought there's 2 teams there that are going to blast through it, and they dropped out to join LFPU, and it kind of, as much as it's a shame we didn't get to cast much of their games, like, I think it's benefited the league because every single game's been so close, and all the teams have been super close together. It's been so much fun.
Yeah, it's genuinely made me proud of like where the EU's place is right now. I know Zoinks, obviously we mentioned on Twitter you were excited with how NA is at. I'm really excited with where EU is at. I'm so hyped for UCS this season because I do genuinely feel like people have really kicked off. Of course, LFPU has been going on over the side and with the French over there with Purple doing that, and that has been amazing as well. Like the teams have been fantastic, and this is going to be an awesome UCS season, chat. It's one of the things that you really get hyped about. But Yeah, that is going to be it for us today with the podcast. Do not miss the games at the weekend, chat. Of course, there's a lot of action going on as well, as Top Gun's just said. Unity Europe Cup is all kicking off on the Friday, which I'm also going to be casting, so come say hi to me there. And then on the Saturday, Battle Hub is doing their Elite Tour. Come say hi to me there, but we're also going to be doing this Goldenrod Challengers League, so come say hi to us here. And then, of course, do the same on the Sunday. It's exciting. It's really good tournaments, really good play. Pokemon Unite is really vibing as an esports, and it's awesome. So a huge thank you for you all coming and playing, a huge thank you for you all coming and watching. It's just freaking awesome. It gets me really excited. So yeah, that's enough of me going on about that.
Do you want to just go off on a really weird tangent now we're at the end of the stream? So I'm just looking at Twitch and looking at your lovely face, looking at Nezuko there. Recommended channels, Kamala Harris is just randomly streaming politics.
What? I did hear. I did hear that she was all over the Twitch at the moment, taking that gaming approach, mate. Jesus Christ. Anyway, what we'll say is that's going to be it, chat. So thanks for being it. It's been a blast. We'll see you over the games of the weekend, and then we'll plan the finals. So have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you both are. I've been SpartanTano. You can catch me on Twitter, Spartan_Tano. You can catch me actually on Blue Sky now, I believe it is as well. SpartanTano there, and of course Twitch. And he's been ChaoticEspeon, which isn't ChaoticEspeon on Twitch anymore, are you, buddy? You're Chaos Control TV.
Yep, spelt with a K, so KAOS, and really edgy like that. Control is like the little tab on your keyboard, CTRL, because Chaos Control was taken and didn't fit into Unite. But if you want to catch me on Twitter or Blue Sky, as Tanner said, yeah, I'm ChaoticEspeon.
It's been a blast, guys. We'll catch you later. Bye!